that kicks off on Saturday at 3 o'clock, which is rare. I love 3 o'clock kickoffs. I say that every time there is one because we were starved of them for a while. The beauty, or should I say the beauty, the bad thing of being in Europe is you have to play your Premier League games on a Sunday. Not that it's been a good season, not that I've enjoyed any of this season, but I do love a 3 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday, and especially, Easter weekend against the team that we should win. We should win. They're on course. If they don't get, I think they need 2 points. I think, if I'm right, I might be slightly off. I think they need 2 points to avoid being, or to equal being, the worst Premier League team ever, which is currently Derby from a few years ago. This is a game we should win. It is, but this is West Ham. Have I seen some improvement in the last couple of games? Yes, in 45-minute spells. Coincidentally, when a striker comes on and space opens up for other players, and we actually start trying to be a bit more direct and progressive rather than regressive. So looking at Southampton, bottom of the league, terrible season for them. Terrible season for them. Just hasn't worked out, has it? It just hasn't worked out. If we look at their last few games, 3-0 loss to Villa, 3-1 loss to Tottenham. They did get a 1-1 draw against Palace, a 2-1 loss to Wolves, a 3-1 loss to Liverpool, a 4-0 loss to Chelsea. There's 3s, 4s all over the place. They've just had a real shocker of a season. They really, really have. Their goal difference as well. They've only scored 23 goals in 32 games. They've only scored 23 goals. Conceded 77. They've got a minus 54 goal difference. Minus 54. Listen, if Southampton fans are watching this, I'm not trying to say that West Ham have had a great season. We haven't. We're 17th, and we're only 17th because there's 3 worse teams than us. Not because we're better. Not because we're. If the season went on for another, let's say, 5 more games than what it is, I think West Ham could go. I do. I think West Ham are very lucky that there's only 6 games left, and we won't get dragged into it. All teams should be officially relegated, I reckon, this weekend. So last time we played them, we did beat them 1-0 on Boxing Day, a rare win for Lopetegui. Before that, last time we played them at London Stadium was back in 23, a 1-0 win. Before that, a 1-1. They beat us 3-1 a little while ago. They have beat us at the London Stadium, though, on Boxing Day, funny enough, 3-2. So we have played each other on Boxing Day quite a lot, over the years. Looking at their strengths, guys, the only thing that is listed as a strength on WhoScored.com is creating chances through individual skill. Weaknesses, the list is this long. Defending against long shots, avoiding fouls in dangerous areas, defending against skillful players, protecting leads, finishing scoring chances, stopping opponents from scoring, defending against through balls, avoiding individual errors, defending set pieces. It's a who's who list of what you wouldn't want in a football team, really, isn't it? Their style of play, they go down the right-hand side quite a lot, loads of short passes, they play with width. They like to play in their own half. They rotate their first 11 quite a lot, and they can be quite aggressive. In terms of lineup, bear with me. So in terms of lineup, they usually play the 3-4-3 formation. This is what WhoScored.com expects to play. Ramsdale in goal, obviously linked to West Ham. Not for me personally. I'd rather the guy from Liverpool. I know Gio spoke about him months ago. I watched that video, and then I think that'd be a great one, a great signing for West Ham. I think there's a few really good number 2s at them top clubs. Like Ortega, we've got no chance. I think he's fantastic. He should be a number 1 somewhere else at City. Kelleher, I think, is good enough for, he's good enough. He's good. He would be a fantastic goalie for us, and I hope it's him, not Ramsdale. Harwood, Bellis, Bredniak, and Stevens make up the three. It says three. It's more of a five, similar to formation to what we play. Walker Peters, heavily linked to West Ham. I think if there's anyone I could probably say will 100% join West Ham, I would think it will be him. So we'll get a chance to see him. He has a little audition in front of Potter. We get to see him live properly and proper look at him and see what he's about. Got Wellington that plays on the left. Flynn Downs, former Hammer. I liked him when he was at West Ham. Didn't get a fair crack at a whip. He looks like he's going back down to the Championship. Will someone pick him up like a Leeds or someone coming up or crossing paths maybe? I like him though. I do like Flynn Downs. And I just liked at the time that he was a Hammer playing for us, One of their better players is a guy called Fernandez. He's, if anyone shines a little bit, it's him. Tyler Diblin, Archer and Soleimani up front. Should we win? Yes. Will we win? Actually, for once, I'm going to say yes. I think we'll win. I think we'll make hard work of it. If you don't start the striker and he continues with Kudus and Bowen, I don't like them now. I don't. It doesn't work. You're not getting the best out of your players in that position. I think it will line up very similar to what started against Liverpool. Might change a few things. Areola, Kilman, Mavropanos and Tobido. Scholes, Wan-Bissaka, Sola, Ward-Price and Paqueta with Bowen and Kudus. That's what I think he'll start. What would I like to see? I'd like us to go to 4 at the back. Wan-Bissaka, Scholes, Kilman and Tobido. And then I would go Alvarez, Paqueta, Soler, Bowen, Kudus, Fulkrug, 4-3-3. So you've got Alvarez sits in the pivot, which can become a 3 because he can, he's quite disciplined and he can fill in at centre back. You got Paqueta and Soler who can pass the ball around nicely. Bowen in his normal position. Kudus out on the left. I know that's not ideal. And then Fulkrug through the middle. Or if you wanted to be a little bit more risky, you could maybe drop Kudus and put Guilherme there. But two young ones on the left-hand side might be a bit risky. But I do want to see a bit more of Guilherme. I want to see him, get 45 minutes in his position. Every time I've seen him play, barring the one game where he was played out of position, so I don't put any blame on him. Every time I've seen this young kid, he looks good. He looks really, really good. I really hope we don't sell him in the summer. I think we will regret it if we do. I think he's going to be really special. I do. I think he's got so much potential. So much potential. So yeah, I think we'll win 2-1. Like I say, I think we'll make it difficult for ourselves. We may even go 1-0 down and the atmosphere will be a bit toxic for a bit and then we'll come back and win it. But it would be typical that they get their result to not be the worst Premier League team against West Ham. That would be typical. What else would be really, really interesting in this game that I would like to see is Ward-Price, if he does come on, score a free kick. Wouldn't that be great if he broke the record against the club that he scored all his free kicks for? I don't think the man's ever going to score a free kick again. I really don't. I really, really don't. I just think he won't score it at West Ham. He won't score it at West Ham. So yeah, that's it for today. I was going to talk a little bit about Soucek and Soufal, but I think that's an individual video, to be honest with you. This is just mainly Southampton versus West Ham. Hope you like the new thumbnails. Been experimenting with new software. Thumbnails have never been really consistent. I'm trying to come up with sort of a pattern so that it, becomes uniform to our channel. So, if you do see it, oh, that's West Ham World's video. Yeah. Until next time, guys, thank you for watching. If you have watched live, you've been a little bit shy, though. It would have been nice to have a few comments so we could have had a little chat. But until next time, come on, you irons. Keep believing. Let's go.